A notorious Venezuelan prison in Caracas, once described as a torture center, is now set for a pretty dramatic transformation. The acting president, Delcy Rodríguez, has pledged to remove prisoners at Helicoide and convert the landmark into a leisure center for families and communities to relax. The massive structure, wrapped around a hilltop and then crowned with a shining dome, was conceived in the year 1955 during Venezuela's oil boom. Under dictator Marco Perez Jimenez, architects led by Dirk Bornhorst designed it as a drive-in shopping paradise, complete with hundreds of stores, cinemas, a hotel and also even a helipad. However, after a collapse of the dictatorship in 1958, the project had fallen apart and was abandoned by the 1970s. A decade later, it was taken over by the country's secret police as their headquarters, and in 2010 it was revamped, this time by the government of the revolutionary socialist Hugo Chávez. He needed a more secure base for his own reinvented security force, known as SEBIN. Now, areas conceived as offices and luxury shops were adapted into prison cells, and in 2022, a United Nations fact-finding mission reported that the detainees, including opposition politicians, journalists and protesters, were tortured or mistreated inside of the complex. However, the former President Nicolás Maduro had repeatedly denied holding political prisoners in the center. And amongst the most high-profile deaths was that of General Raúl Beduel in 2021. A former Defense Minister, Raúl Beduel, was imprisoned for corruption. And according to reports, his death inside the detention center was the result of refusal by the authorities to provide adequate medical care. In recent weeks, family members of inmates have set up camp outside of the prison, holding vigils and also pleading to see their relatives. Foro Penal, a Caracas-based NGO, said as of the 15th of February, 32 prisoners remained inside the complex, following Nicolás Maduro's pretty dramatic capture by the U.S. forces on drug trafficking charges. Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodríguez, is pledged to empty out the notorious prison. She has further announced that the complex will be transformed into a social, sports and cultural center for police families and surrounding communities. Under U.S. pressure, the Rodríguez government is also committed to releasing all political prisoners held across Venezuela. Now, human rights groups estimate that there are almost about 1,000 detainees so far, and about 450 of them have been freed, though many still remain behind bars. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.